Yo guys, what is good? Assy once again with another Exo series video. Today we're talking about the newly released patch. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so we try to go a little bit at a pace, so let's go. Gold Iris, super nicely looking unit. I like Iris, she looks thick. Yeah, sure. Whatever. So, however, here we come to her passive, Flop Flop. You guys might remember this as Icy something. I don't remember. It got renamed. Still does the same thing, and modification should actually say Polymorph. And Polymorph does also the same stunts. So it just got renamed into this Flip Flip and Flop Flop or something. Wet Fog removes all barriers the enemy has when the enemy uses barrier once per round. Mark when the enemy barrier is removed. By the effect of Wet Fog, the defense of all enemies is decreased by 20% of all maximum health for 9 turns. What this means is you remove the barrier, and once per round and once per turn are important here. Dragon Scales occurs once per turn. You hit an enemy, their shield goes up. Iris then removes the shield once and applies this effect for 9 turns. Then it has to go through a full rotation until Iris gets a turn again, and then she can do this again, while the shield gets up regardless. However, this time with decreased defense. The decreased defense is actually quite high. My Iris had something like 6k HP. With this Fatecores she would have 6.2 almost, like 6.1ish. At level 90 she should have 6.2. This is basically 1200 defense, 1300 defense down. You all guys have probably experienced the Banger family defense down by 1000. That was pretty nuts, so this is even higher than that. Dragonblood might not be an issue anymore. However, will this change the meta? Most people will just run Iris in addition to their Dragonblood team, because if the enemy has it, then you remove it, and if the enemy doesn't have it, you don't care, and they basically lose out. So you're never on the losing side if you just slot Iris in and keep your old team. I wonder if this will be the meta change we are all hoping for. I surely do hope so, because I would like to see some more variety. This is mostly PvP oriented because there isn't many barriers in PvE, but for PvE this is also nice. What is definitely one of the nicest thing is her target gains 2 mana, costs 1. So you use it and you fill up, and you can repeat this. You can do this every round. It doesn't give the shield anymore, which is kinda sucky, because that was a good way to basically keep your team alive and stack mana. I would personally never use her damage and just use this mana gain, especially with some of the units that have powerful abilities but are of the dark type, are of the light type. They have troubles gaining that mana, so this is insane for those teams, especially in PvE. If you have, let's say, Garth and Iris together, she will start out with 1 mana, and you can give your whole team 2 mana at the end of her round, which means they can use their abilities, like almost all their abilities, in round 2 already. Pretty cool here. So let's skip all this. Don't do it. Another sink of zest that you don't have. Yeah. Path of Trials. This is basically the new story mode edition. Pretty awesome. You fight against some of the bosses that you have fought before. So this means you will fight against Jin, Valentina, and all those horrible things that you have fought previously and thought, yeah, I should not do this ever again. You will do this again because the rewards are amazing. 700 Zes at the milestone 30, you get passes along the way, you get scrolls, these 6-star spirits that have been a kind of a resource block for some of us. Holy Waters of the Universe, another resource block. Awesome that we get this here. Faded, I mean legendary you also get, typo here. But you also get exclusive weapon craft tickets, which is also cool. Mystic Meteorites, I have no idea what this could be. I cannot remember what this was. Anyway, you will be able to do this right from 4-6, which is pretty awesome because it gives the newer mid-game and end-game players something to do additionally. I assume the earlier stages will not be that difficult, so early or mid-game players have an additional way to get some zest, to get some cool rewards, and everybody who has finished the campaign fully will be able to enjoy this as well. Pretty good decision. I like it that they didn't lock it after 10. Alright, so this is another quality of life improvement. Pretty nice that you can see now the different stages. This is good, better than just having easy. Gives you better scale than the little circle. Yupir's Labyrinth has returned in an updated way. Now you do basically these stages. These are not connected, so you can do Sky Gate, Sky Path, Starry Corridor, and skip Abyssal Gate and do Abyssal Path. You are not forced to do them one by one like in a tower, but it's a proper labyrinth. So you can clear them out. Early game players, level 5 should be easy enough to attainable everywhere, so you get some zest there. Mid game players will easily be able to traverse to level 3 over time, and then the end game players will have their fun with the higher stages, with everybody working their way towards getting 5 of these solved per month. And these rewards, I'm not sure if you remember, but the cost for the new attribute enhancement are hero stones, gold, muse, 6-star spirits, and the multicolor stones that you get from dragons. But here we get holy water, which is much better. This seems all to be an indication that we are expected to gain at least like to a couple of levels in a couple of months. So if you can get 1 from here guaranteed, you get 3 or 4 per month. So I guess the company is expecting us to level up these units quite fast, faster than I expected, but still not like super like first week, second week. Okay, yeah. Formation penalties are removed, pretty good. No conditions to enter, awesome. Early game, late game, mid game, everybody is allowed to go in, and formation penalties sucked anyways. I hate them. I want to put everybody in the front that I want without them deal less damage. Okay, hero element enhancement update. We spoke about this lengthy. Check out the video that I made because it covers basically everything that this does, but just to quickly go over it, it costs 10 stones, 1 Mew, 300 hero tokens, and 300,000 gold from level 0 to level 1. And this is, I think, also a typo because it should just say +1 here. But here, destroy Guardian Stones 2. And I went over all of this. And yeah, we went over this. It shows it here, so that is pretty good. 5 colored Fate Stones, that's what they're called. Some players might be able to get units to level 5, but I guess it's only the end game, because most of us will be stuck on these hero tokens. I haven't seen anybody above 3,000 hero tokens, and this is a staggering cost. So 5 might be unreachable, but 3 is a solid goal for most of us. I think I could even get to 3 if I wouldn't be bound on hero tokens. Yeah, so we talked about that. That is pretty good. Choice Forge update. Let me just say this, I wish this was in the door to creation and not behind another 700 Zest summon. But whatever, like if you really wanted to do this, it's still better than the faded faded armor craft. But remember, you can still get magic items, so please don't. Just use the door to creation and save your zest for something else. A Holy Dragons update. Phase 4 has been enabled. This is pretty nuts. Damages all enemies and stuns them for a certain amount of time. As I mentioned before with passives, most of the passive only trigger once per round, so cleanses only work once. If you don't have enough stun cleansers, you're stunned forever because the dragon moves every 3 turns. And if your cleanser doesn't get a turn anymore because you're basically getting killed, yep, that will be hard. Okay, teams with a Dragon Knight have a certain amount of resistance. Yes, 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 we had this. Releases a breath that removes all marks on selves and targets. Does it remove Dragon Scale? Because I think that's what it says. So you might not be able to cheese this out against. Here it says again, nullifies marks. So this is directly targeted to First Guardians. You will not be able to cheese this, or you should not be able to cheese this. There's probably ways around that. And then, yeah, we had this. Increases drastically. Okay. Great. A gift from the Great One update. We get some gifts. When you meet a user... I have never met anybody who has that little thing. We never visit the town, do we? You can acquire a gift. Okay, so I guess you just go to town more often to get this? Get 30 of them? New hangout spot town? Who knows? Voice actor, cool thing. Like it, you can play this. Awesome. Fusion lock function. It is pretty cool. It costs Zest to lock the ability, so 100 Zest for this. You can also lock the blue Fatecore ability, so it wouldn't re-roll that. I don't know if you would want that, unless you already got 12% in something here. Because every Fatecore you put in increases that level, right? I don't think this can decrease. There's some values like dodge rate that can decrease, so you want to lock them, dodge, hit, maybe HP. Not sure on this one. Definitely aimed at whales, but in my opinion, lower spending players will also benefit from this, because if I have only one Fatecore, I don't want my values to go down. I spent the 200 whatever Zest is required to lock my thing, so I have an upgrade. Okay, passive, yeah, I mentioned that Flap Flap and Flop Flop. So yeah, it's now Polymorph and it's the same as Frigid Bolt. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, Dragon Knight and Dragon Hunter Blessing. So once you have one of them, you decrease the dragon factor. So you basically decrease the increase of attack by 20%. So you definitely need one of them per element in a team. You're 100% required. If this can stack, if you can basically have multiple of them, I don't think so. It usually only says the head Dragon Knight applies only once and cannot be stacked, but I think this also cannot be stacked. Dragon Hunter Blessing, since it's element free days where you use them mostly, you can use anyone. Machine, Mahar I think has Dragon Knight's Blessing. If not, one of the 4 stars, I think Lungen has it. I would use Lungen over Mahar. So, sorry Mahar. To get this, if you don't have that on Machine Day. Okay, we get some of these. Hero Battle update. Pretty nice for everybody who has been complaining that they cannot finish their 4th mission. Now you can, with getting in April. pretty cool. So now you can finish that. Awesome. April is a healer. So yeah, maybe you need her. You will get these fans now. In case you have never seen one of these are super popular in Japan and probably all over Asia. Handheld fans everywhere. I have a bunch of those. These are pretty cool. Anyway, same thing as when we had the feathers, when we had the ice thingies. You gain them in exploration when you kill a golem, when you kill a totem, and you can exchange them either for heroes or for experience, tomes, and abrasives. So, regular thing. Exos Pass update. Awesome. I love that they repeated really quickly. Last pass was pretty good. Good investment of 3000 Zs. I hope this cost will remain the same. I haven't checked yet. And yeah, so if you're a spender or if you are a low spender and want to spend but haven't found a good deal, this is the best deal you get aside from the monthly Zs. The monthly daily Zs. Not the other monthly Zs. So yeah, this is pretty good. Check the rewards. It should be awesome. Then yes, this has been changed. Bug fixes. Bug fixes are super good. So statistics, okay. Oh god, this finally. It would never switch for me back to solo. It was super annoying. Okay, empty screen. So now this is nicer. This. Graphical updates. Great one. Yes. So some of you might have not known, Dragonblood is always supposed to remove the stacks if you don't attack the hero, but it didn't do that. So now it apparently does, and I really hope it does, because it was making fights more annoying than they had to be. Attendance book, I guess some players didn't receive rewards or something. Good that they fixed this. Sound effects, okay. Okay, that is good. And in Body of Avarice, S rank. Did somebody actually unlock S rank? Oh, yo, crazy. Okay. Okay, so that was it. That was the patch notes. I tried to skip over everything that wasn't that important. And yeah, for me personally, super exciting patch. I'm mostly looking forward to the Yupir's Labyrinth, the story enhancements, and I have to say also a little bit to try to get one of my characters to break multiple stones, mostly for PvE because I like PvE, but it will also be cool in PvP. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Do you like this? Do you disagree with what I said? Do you think something is really stupid in this patch which I said was great? Let me know. Hit subscribe for more God, I cannot talk. Hit subscribe for more content like this or similar content in the future. Like the video, and yes, I will see you in the next one. Until then, enjoy the grind.